Hey everybody, welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. So today I wanted to talk about the idea of behavior being very good at coming up with ideas and concepts and failing so hard on the execution. The thing that sparked this and the first point I want to bring up is the Blight add-on changes. I think everyone agrees that the Blight add-on changes were good, almost every single one of them. Keyword on almost. There is one in particular that... the eerie tag. So for those who don't know, what it currently does now is if you rush, the last rush will insta down the survivor. It doesn't expose them technically because it's an M2, but it allows them to be insta downed, which is a problem in and of itself for a lot of reasons. Behaviors also said it kind of forced certain gameplay they didn't like because the Blight player would basically like slam in place like 4 times and then go for the last hit. But now they've changed it so you basically have unlimited rushes. However, once it ends, there's a 20-second cooldown. Now, I don't think that's inherently bad, and this is kind of going into my point. I like the idea of this add-on very much. I like the idea of like Blight having unlimited rushes. That's cool as hell. That sounds fun. That sounds fun on both sides, really. Like, especially because they added in the turn rate one too, where if you go at least 4 meters, your turn rate goes farther. Sorry, it's been a very long day. And if you combine them, you can basically do this forever and get like almost 100% perfect turn control, which is really cool. But I think the issue here is it's a cool idea. It seems really fun, but they kind of fluffed it on the execution. So the downside to this add-on is 20-second cooldown, which is not enough. it's not enough. I know me and other Chucky players complain that the cooldown on his slice and dice feels like an eternity. Well, that's because it's after you miss is when it feels like an eternity. And even after the first initial hit. What Blight can essentially do with this is, if you really want to go into like a comp, like ultimate optimized setting, they can run you like normal, M1 you, and then just get an unlimited rush attack and then hit you. They put you on a hook, and that takes about 15-ish seconds. 5 seconds later, they're ready to rush, and they can rush to the other side of the map and get somebody. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. It is, once again, a cool idea, but it just fluff it on the concept. The one change I would make to this is make the downside like 40 seconds or a minute. Make it something insane for such a big power. Because I feel like with what this is doing is making it so you're not using the rushes for attacks, you're using them for mobility more so, and I think that's a cool idea. And I think I would rather have that. I really am tired today. I'm so sorry about this. But this isn't the first time Behavior's done something like this. The Onryo rework is another good example. They were like, okay, well, people are mostly using the Condemned playstyle, so let's just make it her entire playstyle. Once again, I think it was a good idea in concept, but it just doesn't work because there's 4 other players on the enemy team who are not having much fun playing against this. And that was the other thing with Condemned. A lot of people didn't like playing against it. Even though it was how Onryo's played, because it wasn't necessarily the most efficient, it was just the easiest way to do it. We've had many instances of this. Pinky Finger Clown, Eerie Hatchet Huntress, before they had their max ammunition reduced, right, for lack of a better word. Eerie Hatchet Huntress back in the day, I don't want to say back in the day, it wasn't too long ago, you could run it with infantry belt and have 3 insta-down hatchets before they put a cap on the amount you could have, which, yeah, once again, cool idea in concept, a terrible idea in execution. I mean, that leads into a whole debate on add-ons like that make killers have exposed one-hit down abilities anyways. Even like something like Nemesis, where he has an add-on that makes it so when a survivor uses a thing for infection, they basically become exposed for a minute. Cool. However, they're probably on the other side of the map. Nemesis doesn't have any mobility, And yeah, they're not doing it in his face. By the time he gets over there, he has like maybe 30 seconds, and then yeah, they're just gonna Plus, he's an M2 killer for the most part, so it's like he's not even M1ing for the exposed effect. It's such a weird thing. Twins has a very similar one. A lot of times you down people with Victor, not Charlotte, but she also has an exposed add-on for some reason. Artist too. A primarily M2 killer has an exposed add-on? Why? Like, I get what they're doing. They're like, okay, well, exposed is like one of the most game-changing effects. Let's just give it to all of our killers to make them better. And give the rarity a reason to exist. And it's like, yeah, but this killer doesn't really use exposed. It's so straight. Could you imagine if they gave Nurse an exposed add-on? Could you imagine? Like, we'd just be going back in time to when Nurse would run basically all exposed perks. It's, yeah. And it's even with certain gameplay concepts. I think, like, the Unbreakable change they introduced on the PTB last year is a good example. We still haven't heard anything about that, by the way. I liked the idea of survivors having Unbreakable base kit. I did, because it tackles a big problem survivors have of being slugged for the 4K or just being slugged in general, and there's not really much they could do. And it also incorporated the Moris more into the game. It's something I feel like they were trying to do with that, was make Moris more of a normalized thing in the game and not just something you bring or you happen to get with Devour Hope or something like that. Once again, cool in concept, but there were so many things wrong with it. Unbreakable, the getting up was too fast was one thing. It hurt killers that kind of rely on slugging, like Oni and Plague. And the biggest thing with the Moris was a lot of people felt bad that it kind of just instantly into the game. There was no option. I've talked about this so many times, and I know a bunch of people have brought this up. The easiest solution was adjust the numbers on the base kit Unbreakable. I think, doubling it would have been fine. And for the Moris, just make Cypher's Moris base kit so you could Mori the last person if you want to. But I don't know. It was a weird change that we never really saw anything from, and it's funny because I noticed after that they got a lot less experimental with some of their changes. And I have a feeling it's because they didn't want as much backlash as they got. I feel like this is something a lot of gaming companies are afraid of. They do something unique because everyone wants them to. They do it. It was a bad idea. People tell them it's a bad idea, and then they never try anything else. But yeah, we'll see what behavior does in the future with things. And we haven't seen the changes to the PTB yet. We'll probably see them next week. But I do hope that the Eerie tag on Blight gets nerfed a little bit. It's too good. Like, it's not even like super good. It's just like, I don't know. In any case, tell me what you guys think of like behavior's thought process on adding things to the game. Like I said, I just think it's poor execution most of the time. Good ideas, bad execution. All my links and stuff are below. I love you guys, and I am streaming tomorrow at 11 p.m. EST. That link is also below. But yeah, bye.